Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel as we gather here tonight to talk about Wrestlemania numero uno predictions. I don't know how to say night one in Spanish, but I figured I'd be clever and say numero uno. This is officially your night one WrestleMania predictions. I am, of course, Joseph Conlon, the host of the Big Fight Fuel channel, and I thank you guys for joining me here tonight. And I have been saying for quite a bit that the thing I'm looking forward to the most on this WrestleMania is how bad the show's going to be. How much of a clusterfuck is this WrestleMania going to be this weekend? The main storyline going into this WrestleMania, it's so comical. And they've been bringing it up on television. It is not Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. It is not everything involving fucking Pat McAfee. That's the worst. I'm not even saying Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton because the feud is centered. It's centered around Pat McAfee now. It's terrible. It's disgusting. I hate it. The thing that is being talked about most, the biggest storyline going into WrestleMania this year, is the atrocious ticket sales. Ticket sales are absolutely in the dirt for WrestleMania right now. I am on WrestleTix over on Twitter, and as of right now, Saturday night, the attendance is 42,715, and the attendance on Sunday night is 43,339. Last year, on WrestleMania Saturday, there was a total of 60,151 people at WrestleMania. On WrestleMania Sunday last year, there were 61,389 fans. That is nearly an 18,000 drop off. They have dropped off. They have lost 18,000 fans. And if you add it up together, they have nearly lost 37,000 fans. And that is what happens when you astronomically, outrageously boost ticket prices to where people cannot travel for WrestleMania because the amount of money it is for tickets, for flights, for hotels, for food convention, everything you can name. It's impossible. It's too expensive. Ticket prices, how absolutely atrocious the product is. I just named that off the top of my head, which we will get into when we get to the matches. But ticket prices, the fact that they are going into Las Vegas for a second year in a row, and how absolutely god awful this product is right now. Last year, going into WrestleMania, the product, it wasn't great. But it was at a point where business for WWE was doing good, and there was actually some matches to be invested in. This year at WrestleMania, it's been an absolute atrocious. It's been an absolute abomination. And this is the time of year where WWE is supposed to be at its best. They're supposed to be on their A game. And if I'm being honest with you, WWE, they're on their worst. I haven't seen the company this bad since 2019. It's been that long since it's been that bad. The worst year ever in the WWE, 2019. And we are back on track to that with everything involving all these fucking celebrities. Jelly Roll, Pat McAfee, Little Yachty, bookings for specific matches. This has been the worst build in WrestleMania history. Good job, Ari Emanuel. Good job, TKO. Good job, Triple H. Good job, creative team. This is the least excited I have ever been for a WrestleMania in my entire lifetime. But we're going to do predictions because that's what we do. That's what we do on this channel. And WWE right now, they're at their absolute worst. And they're supposed to be on their best. So, I'm just warning you guys now. Okay? I'm just warning you guys right now. For all you WWE hardcore fans out there. And I love WWE. It's just absolutely atrocious right now. It is ridiculously terrible television. If you think the product is bad now, wait till you see how worse it gets as we get into the summer. You think it's bad now? Oh, wait until we get to June. You think it'll be bad in June? Boy, you haven't seen nothing yet. Wait until we get to after SummerSlam. And if you think it's bad after SummerSlam, oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet. Where absolutely nobody will be watching WWE in the fall when Monday Night Football and college football return. You ain't seen nothing yet. The product is an absolute garbage can. But I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to get much worse after WrestleMania this weekend. So, we got 7 matches to talk about on Saturday night. And we might as well just get right into it. We got 7 matches to talk about for Saturday night's WrestleMania. And announced last night on Monday Night Raw, we have a 6-man tag kicking off WrestleMania. It is going to be the Usos teaming up with LA Knight to go up against Logan Paul and Austin Theory, the World Tag Team Champions. And they are going to be joined by I Show Speed. So this is technically a celebrity match because I Show Speed is a famous YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. I Show Speed in the books is a celebrity. So this is the first match at WrestleMania, and it's not something that I really care about. I don't know if it's a match that I would open up the show with, if I'm honest. They've only built this match for 3 weeks. They threw the tag team titles right on Logan Paul and Austin Theory, which I don't know if I would have done that. That was not a good move. The tag team division is dead on both Raw and SmackDown. And, this is LA Knight's way into WrestleMania, and I think it's a damn shame. And they'll probably give him the cheap win here, but I think him being relegated to this match, it is awful. The man has been feuding with the Vision with what feels like 9 months, 7 months now, and it is just never ending. It's a never ending cycle between LA Knight and the Vision. Doesn't matter if it's Bronson Reed, doesn't matter if it's Austin Theory, doesn't matter if it's Logan Paul. It's going to be a cycle of matches with the Vision, and it just feels never ending. And the only conclusion that I can only see happening. I mean, we don't know anything with WWE. WWE is unpredictable in a terrible way. But their past two Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, they have been as predictable, as dry, and as boring as they come. I will take LA Knight and the Usos in this match. LA Knight will probably get the win over IShow Speed. We have an unsanctioned match with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. And the only reason I'm not excited for this match is because these two should be fighting for the damn WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre should be walking in to WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. Could you imagine if we got, like, looking at it now, man, I fucking wish we got a fatal four way. I wish we got a fatal four way with Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes. They still probably would have uh, somehow get Pat McAfee involved in that storyline and turning Randy Orton heel still. Maybe him being revealed as the mystery attacker for Jacob Fatu or some shit like that. I don't know. But a fatal four way seems way more exciting now than a original one-on-one match with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, which I cannot believe they messed up as simple of a storyline as they possibly could. Um, but now these two have been feuding, and it just feels like, it's been thrown to the wayside because originally they were in the picture for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre was the fucking WWE Champion about a month ago. And now he is being relegated to second match on the show. He is being pushed down the card. This man was going to main event WrestleMania, and he's now being pushed down the card. And again, they wanted to do Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes as a way to sell tickets, and they have not sold enough tickets. They are going to get barely 50,000 people in that building. They are probably going to say 50,000 something. That is not the real number. Okay, that is not the real number. As far as who's going to win this match, as far as the winner and the way this match goes, this is an unsanctioned match. This match is going to take place on ESPN2. This is not going to be on ESPN Unlimited. And because it's on ESPN2, I doubt it is going to be that violent of a match. Yeah, they'll probably use like chairs and kendo sticks and the typical weapons they use in a WWE like no rules match. So because of that, because they're on ESPN2, I don't think this match is going to be as violent as it should be. As far as who I think wins, I'm going to take Jacob Fatu for the sole reason that Drew McIntyre is going to be filming a movie. We don't know how long he's going to be gone for, but in this instance, I will be going with Jacob Fatu to win that match. Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. We have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus maybe the Bella Twins. We don't have any confirmation on that. And then the champions, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. I don't think that Charlotte and Alexa are going to win this match. They've been tag team champions already, and it feels like their partnership is closer to being over than it is to just getting started when they won the tag team titles at SummerSlam. The Bellas are part-time. There's absolutely no chance. There's absolutely no fucking way they should be winning that match. So this is going to be either Nia Jax and Lash Legend retaining, or this is going to be Bayley and Lyra winning the tag team championships. And last year, Bayley got fucked out of WrestleMania because they had the return of Becky Lynch, She took out Bailey without Lyra knowing so that Becky could be Lyra's partner. And then the night after WrestleMania, they lost, and Becky turned heel and attacked Lyra Valkyria to set up a feud between them for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. However, because of that, and they've been saying how much Bailey, they've been bringing up a lot about Bailey, not being on WrestleMania last year. I will take Bailey and Lyra Valkyria to win the tag team titles, but I would not put it past WWE if they gave the titles to the Bellas. And that would fucking piss me off because they are part-timers and they don't fucking deserve that shit. Speaking of part-timers, we have Becky Lynch. We have Becky Lynch challenging AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. They first met all the way back in September at WrestlePalooza. And AJ Lee got the win in that match when it was AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. It was AJ who got the win over Becky. Then they had War Games. And AJ Lee tapped out Becky Lynch in War Games. And then they had their singles match at Elimination Chamber. And AJ Lee beat her clean, tapped her out with the Widow's Bell. And this has been an absolute dog shit feud. It's been terrible. And they haven't even been on TV the past 2 weeks. They've been building this feud the last couple weeks with video packages. That's basically it. I don't remember either of them doing a segment together besides in Boston a couple weeks ago to make their match official. So I have absolute zero hype going into this at all. AJ Lee is part-time, so she should not be winning. And as much as Becky Lynch does not win that Intercontinental Championship, does not need to be Intercontinental Champion, I will take her. I will take Becky Lynch, and she will become the new Intercontinental Champion. The match I'm looking forward to the most on night one of WrestleMania, not even close. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And this was a thrown together match, last minute, literally 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks, whatever it was, in Madison Square Garden. Seth Rollins confronted Paul Heyman, and Gunther attacked him from behind. And the only reason this match is happening because other matches these guys were supposed to be a part of can't happen because Gunther was supposed to be wrestling Rey Mysterio on this show. But at that point, Rey Mysterio, he wasn't cleared. And then Seth Rollins was supposed to be wrestling Braun Breaker. He can wrestle Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker is cleared, but they decided to wait that off because they did not want to rush back the return of Braun Breaker, who they feel like bringing him back after WrestleMania to properly build a match between him and Seth Rollins was the right move. And it is the right move because Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, that is a big time match. That is a match that myself and multiple fans want to see. I want to see a feud between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. And with Gunther and this whole career killer thing, you've got to keep it strong. You've got to keep it strong. Gunther cannot lose this match. Seth Rollins will be okay if he loses. And with him being cleared, I think the reason Seth Rollins will lose this match is because of Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker cost Seth Rollins this match against Gunther. Gunther stays strong, dominant performance, and we move forward towards Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, potentially at Backlash, which that would be sweet. That would be really nice if we got that match at Backlash, right after WrestleMania. But Gunther needs to win this match, and I think this is going to be a great match. I really do. If Triple H can just get his head out of his ass and let these guys go out there and fucking cook for 20 minutes, it will be the best thing on the entire show. Maybe the best thing the entire weekend. But I will take Gunther to beat Seth Rollins. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer. I know people have liked the build for this match, and good for them. I really haven't. It's been weeks of attacks backstage, video packages. It's just been Stephanie attacking Liv Morgan when either Liv is at ringside for a match with Roxanne, or Liv attacking Stephanie like she did last night, or Stephanie attacking Liv in the Judgment Day Clubhouse. It's just been sneak attack after sneak attack, brawl after brawl, a little bit of a promo here and there. The most memorable thing about this entire feud was the Stephanie Vaquer attack in the clubhouse, which, I mean, that was disgusting. Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez literally standing this close together, and then Liv gets pushed by Stephanie, and it's like, boom! Their heads smacking together. So, the build hasn't been good for this match. I will say, I do think this could be a very good match. I do think that Liv and Stephanie can go out there and they can have a very good match. As far as the winner goes, I could see this going either way. I could see Liv Morgan winning the championship and getting her WrestleMania moment of becoming a 2-time Women's World Heavyweight Championship. I could also see Stephanie Vaquer winning and retaining the Women's World Heavyweight Championship because of, maybe Raquel accidentally costing Liv the Women's World Championship. If I had to pick one of the two scenarios, I think I would lean towards Liv winning the Women's World Heavyweight Championship more. I just don't think Stephanie Vaquer's reign has been all that eventful. Like, it's not bad, but it's like, what do we get coming out of that reign? Yeah, she was the champion for 7 months, but coming out of it, we got 3 months of her versus Nikki Bella, which was terrible. And then we got another month of Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez, and then 2.5 months of this feud with Liv Morgan, which I don't think has been the best. And I'm sorry, it's just been a very underwhelming reign for Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm going to take Liv Morgan. I'm going to take Liv Morgan to win the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And that leads us to our very unfortunate, god-awful main event for night one, with the WWE Championship on the line. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I cannot believe I just said god-awful Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes in the same sentence. Everything about this, everything about this feud is why nobody will take WWE seriously. This feud has been anything but about Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and a WWE Championship. They didn't make this. They didn't bring up fucking legacy once. They didn't bring up 20 years of friendship once. There wasn't a promo battle between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes once. We didn't get that at all. We got a great heel turn angle with Randy Orton in Phoenix. Then we got 2 weeks of him fucking beating the shit out of Matt Cardona. Involvement from Jelly Roll. Cody returned to a absolutely one of the worst pull apart brawls you've ever watched. Him walking down in the back. Randy having to fucking stand there for 5 minutes. One of the most boring, pathetic pull apart brawls ever. Involvement from Jelly Roll. And then the phone call, where we didn't need a fucking phone call in the first place, but we got one. And there was a ton of speculation. Oh my gosh! Who is on the phone with Randy Orton? Could it be Cowboy Bob Orton? Could it be Kevin Owens? Stephanie McMahon? Shane McMahon? Ted DiBiase? Ted DiBiase Jr.? Who in the world was on the phone with Randy Orton? And then we found out a couple weeks ago in St. Louis that Pat McAfee has been the voices inside of Randy Orton's head. Pat McAfee has been the person that Randy Orton has been listening to this entire time. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Randy Orton needing Pat McAfee to help him get to a 15th world title. And you would think that WWE would know after last year with Travis Scott's involvement in Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Everybody is going to remember that main event last year because of Travis Scott. That's all everybody's going to remember with that WrestleMania main event. Fiend, Fiend, Fiend. And now this year, they've had the simplest of feuds. They had a layup. They had a layup with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And what did they do? They took the basketball and they threw it in the crowd. What the fuck? What the fuck are these people doing? Pat McAfee is out there cutting promos about CM Punk and how fucking terrible the product is and the roster and 45-minute Iron Man matches. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Absolutely the worst television I've seen since 2019 when it comes to professional wrestling. I have not had my intelligence this much insulted since 2019. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And it's not ending anytime soon. No, because number one, the stipulation is, if Randy Orton loses and doesn't save the business, Pat McAfee will never step foot in a professional wrestling ring or website ever again. And it's being reported that with this deal that Ari Emanuel has for Pat McAfee being involved in a WrestleMania main event, it's part of the deal that we get Randy Orton and Pat McAfee versus Cody Rhodes and Jelly Roll at Backlash. So you know what that's got to mean. Randy Orton has to win this championship on Saturday night. So unfortunately, it's not over. And great fucking job, WWE. Y'all were worried about Randy Orton getting cheered too much from the crowd on SmackDown and in Las Vegas. You're worried about the crowd cheering for Randy Orton. Well, guess what? The crowd is not cheering for Randy Orton anymore. They're not reacting to him. He comes out to silence. He came out to SmackDown on Friday night, and the people didn't know what to make of him. They want to cheer him. They want to. But this shit with Pat McAfee is so atrociously bad that they don't want to cheer it because he's associated with how terrible this Pat McAfee shit is. So, Randy Orton is going to win. And the next step is going to be Randy Orton and Pat McAfee versus Cody Rhodes and Jelly Roll at Backlash. I don't know what to fucking tell you. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all for joining me. That is your Night 1 WrestleMania predictions. I will be back tomorrow night for the AEW Dynamite review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. So subscribe, hit the like button if you like to hear from me. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok, Colin_Joseph. And it has been such a busy week for me. With my job, with school, and providing content for you guys. But I love the grind, man. I absolutely love it. And we don't stop over here, man. We just keep going forward. We just keep fucking stepping. All right? I will see you guys tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite right here on the Big Fat Field channel. Appreciate y'all for watching. Have a good night. Stay classy. Peace.